Hello, welcome back to Screen
Hello.
Babble. It's March, which usually means one thing only, Oscars. We'll be looking at who's hotting up to take home some of the most desirable gongs. We're also looking at the decline of some of what were the biggest shows on TV. Screen Babble is a monthly podcast where we'll take you through the best in TV. I'm your host, Kelly Crichton, and I'm joined by TV critic Matt Mohan-Hickson. Matt is here to tell us what's hot and what's not, as ever. Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe it's March already, but
I know.
I'm really enjoying the lighter nights. It's actually quite nice to have
100%.
like,
it's
the telly
beautiful
on,
day
and
today.
there'd be
So,
there'd
yeah.
be some like, it's 5 o'clock and I can actually see out. I can see what's coming through the window.
Tempted to not be watching television and be out in the actual sunshine.
It
No, not
makes
quite.
watching
Not
the telly
quite.
better, obviously.
Not quite, exactly. Right. So we are kind of emerging from the black hole of winter, and
Yeah.
things seem to slow down a little bit at this time of year on the telly front because, you know, they're trying to keep us all indoors and entertained for sort of January and February and around Christmas. What have you been watching recently?
Well, I had a very wintry month in February.
A
It was very
wintry
much
winter, yeah.
wintry winter. It was very Winter Olympics in our house.
Of course.
Just
Mhm.
every single thing, like, for about a week, I knew what was going on in curling. I think that's been memory hold now.
I did watch the final,
yeah.
actually. Yeah, go on.
It was so good. And all the crazy things where they're like flying down head first, and those things where they ski and shoot that the French and the
Yeah.
Norwegians are really good at. Like, I mean, Norway, they're just
I think that's the biathlon. Yeah, I know that much.
biathlon. Yeah.
I know that much.
It amazes me because I can't ski, let alone, I went to like a dry ski slope when I was like 12 in school and just fell over all the time. So
I feel like with the Winter Olympics, more so than with the Summer Olympics, but this also happens with the Summer Olympics. You start off watching a sport and you know nothing about it. And after like an hour and a half watching it, you think you're a full-blown expert. And you're like, I think I'd be pretty good at that, actually.
I just have to commend the BBC coverage was really good. I thought
It was really good.
really
Yeah.
good.
It's very an easy
only-
watch. Yeah.
My only minor gripe is when they would swap over channels and it wouldn't be fully linked. It'd be like, oh, go on, continue watching on BBC One, and then you switch
Okay.
over and it hadn't finished the last thing. It was like, but I want to see what's happening.
Oh, annoying. That is
yeah.
annoying. Okay. No, please take note, BBC. Right. No, I really enjoyed the Winter Olympics as well, what I saw of it. I was actually on holidays for a chunk of it, so it was really weird. I was in the sun and watching the snow stuff. But yeah, it just made me laugh how, it kind of differs from the Summer Olympics as well. There's a sort of different level of athlete in some of the events, I think, But fair play to them, and it's always entertaining, and, long live the Olympics. What else have you been watching?
Well, I did manage to watch some like actual TV outside.
Okay. Squeezed it in.
One that had been sort of calling to me from the Now TV screen for a while
Okay.
was a show called Matlock, which is
Oh my God. Do you remember the
it's a-
original Matlock?
I do not remember the
Oh
original.
no, really? Oh God.
no,
Okay,
like-
go on.
So it's a reboot of sorts of is it Andy Griffith? Was it Andy Griffith who was
Yeah.
Matlock
Yeah.
in the 80s?
He's a sort of deep south older gentleman who was everybody kind of underestimated, and he'd always
Yeah.
pull the rabbit out of the hat in the final submission to the
Yeah.
jury,
And
that was kind of every episode,
that way, yeah. And this new version, channeling that, it's got Kathy Bates, who's she's
Love
playing
Kathy
like
Bates, yeah.
older woman who joins a sort of high-powered law firm in New York, and she's using that sort of old lady southern charm that people sort of underestimate her, and pulls the rabbits out the hat, and there's a real big twist that I won't spoil. Like the first episode has a big twist that it's quite compelling.
I'm going to be honest with you, Matt. I'm gonna tip my mom off about this, but I'm not sure it's for me.
Oh yeah. I just sometimes I need like a procedure. I just need sometimes like
a Murder She Wrote type thing.
Just something that is on. I mean, it's got 19 episodes in the first season, which is
So is that
old TV?
It's only it's only the first series so far.
The second season's on now.
Yeah, I thought it was around for a while.
Weekly. Yeah, it's on.
And funnily enough, I actually saw a listing for Matlock the other day and I went, Jesus Christ, I can't believe they're showing Matlock. And I hadn't put two and two together.
Yeah,
It
and
was,
put
it
it
was the
together. Yeah,
modern one because I did know there was a modern one, but I was like, God, they're really short of something to show if they're showing
oh, yeah.
Matlock from the 1980s. But no, okay, fair enough. Good, good, good. And yeah, what else? What else have you been watching?
Well, finished up A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh,
That
did you? We're still in the middle of it. Yeah.
I'm missing it already. I've been watching the bloopers
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah, it's
and
good.
all the interviews. I find the two of them, Peter Claffery and the young lad Dexter, they have such a good dynamic. I mean, I
Uh,
think it's just fun to see. And
it really is like quite a departure from Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
yeah,
To be fair, it's
yeah.
much funnier. It's much more human,
Yeah,
kind of.
it's more of an adventure in a way, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
almost a romance, not as in a romance like like a rom-com, like
yeah,
romance as in like the old school,
yeah,
like
yeah. Or
kind of thing.
bromance. There's a bit of bromance going on
Romance,
there as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I was enjoying that too. Yeah.
But then on the other end of the spectrum, after some nice, enjoyable, not that this isn't going to be enjoyable, but nice, happier telly.
Yeah.
I've been watching Dirty Business on Channel
Mm,
4, which is
yes.
about the polluting of our waterways in England.
Yeah.
Has Scotland escaped that? Is it as bad up in
It's not as
Scotland?
bad up here, I think, because we have a
Yeah,
different set of legislation and a different set of controls in place, and different companies responsible for it. But I did watch it. I've watched all of it, Dirty
yeah.
Business, and it's
It's heavy, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible, and it's shocking, and it's very educational. Now, the
yeah.
one thing I would say about it is it's probably been getting compared to Mr.
Mr.
Bates versus the
Bates.
Post Office, right? Which is very straight, more like a
Yeah,
almost docudrama, right?
yeah, yeah,
Whereas this is almost comedic, like there's quite a bit black
yeah,
humor in it.
yeah,
And they portray some of the officials working at the Environment Agency and working for the various water companies, etc., almost comically, like comically kind of
yeah,
airheaded and
yeah,
clueless and just delivering. And this is what we're going to do now. And we're going to let companies self-report so you don't need to go and visit them anymore. And, when in fact there was people way above their pay grade making those decisions. And I feel like that
yeah, yeah,
you're slightly missing a part of the story there a little
yeah.
bit. And the politicians are kind of left off the hook a little bit in it, so interesting, but also I like how they did it in that it kind of bounces between present
Time,
day and the
yeah,
past, but it also, in the middle of an episode, it will bring up a bit of text on the screen about what's happening, which
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
a sort of a technique a lot of film
Often
producers
used, is it? No,
TV
no.
producers would use, because it kind of stops the flow of the thing. But it actually worked quite well, because
Yeah,
they are telling a factual story, or a story that's based in fact, and they do use footage of some of these sewage leaks, real footage, and it's
yeah,
quite shocking as well. Some of the stuff that the stories they tell in it are absolutely, and you haven't watched it all, so I won't give
no.
some
But
of it away, but it's like unbelievable, unbelievable.
I can't. It's one of obviously the easy comparison, as we've already said, is Mr. Bates and the
Yeah.
Postman, but it does feel like there is that sort of special bit of telly at the moment where it can do that sort of state of the nation. Here's this like big travesty that
Yeah.
people have been reporting on. It's been in the news, but maybe it slips by without that big drama to get you like involved.
Yeah, because these stories kind of are drip feedy and there's no
Yeah,
one big incident unless there's a huge leak or something. But the point was
yeah,
there was all these leaks and we knew nothing about them. People knew nothing
yeah,
about them and they were going into the water and, the damage it's done to the local wildlife and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely worth watching. Different, like it was a bit different
oh yeah,
in terms of format and style and stuff as well. So yeah, check that out. So I finished Beast and Me, which is on Netflix, starring Claire Danes and
hmm,
Matthew Reese. Matthew Reese, people might remember, he was in like Brothers and Sisters. He always plays a kind of a good guy.
yeah,
And in this, he plays bad guy Niall Jarvis. And it's worth watching for his portrayal of this bad guy because he is a complete psychopath and he does it very well. And there's some
yeah,
very, trigger warning, very violent scenes in it where I was like, hands over my eyes. it's okay. It's,
Yeah.
it'll fill a gap in your calendar.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Claire Danes and her wobbly chin honestly crack me up. So
yeah.
I love Claire Danes, but
Yeah,
also stop with the wobbly chin. She'll
yeah.
forever remind me of My So-Called Life, which was one of my favorite teen dramas, but the wobbly chin needs to stop. But it's interesting. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was Waiting for the Out. I don't know if you've watched this yet.
No,
BBC
no.
drama, 6 parts based on Andy West's memoir, The Life Inside, a memoir of prison, family, and learning to be free. And Dennis Kelly has written it for TV. BBC One, it's on iPlayer. It's really, really good. Josh Finnan stars as the protagonist in it. He is a young man who is a teacher, and he goes into prison to teach prison inmates. And you think, oh, that's fairly formulaic, but actually he has quite a checkered past in that his father went to prison when he was a child. He hasn't had any contact with him. He is kind of struggling with this and looking for his father. He has a brother who's an addict, who's clean and has just had a baby and, sorted his life out and getting on with things. His mom obviously was abandoned, etc.
Yeah.
So anyway, but amidst all this, he has OCD and various sort of psychological problems relating to this abandonment, etc. And it's a kind of an analysis of him dealing with, wanting to have his father in his life. Why did his father leave? All that. And then just, putting himself into the prison and confronting men like his father.
Yeah.
Some of it, again, is quite shocking, but it's less of the, prison dramas we're used to where they're all stabbing each other and it's all very high tense drama and all this. This is kind of, whilst there's anger and there's violence, it kind of tries to get under their skin a bit more. And he's teaching them philosophy. So they have these philosophical discussions. And there's one particular actor, I forget his name. He played the bad guy in EastEnders who Mo Slater murdered, her husband, Scottish guy.
Yeah.
He's all right, Mo. I always remember that. And she hits him across the back of the head with the iron. I can't remember that actor's name, but I'm going to have to look it up. But it's really, really good. Definitely check it out. Just different, exploring things from a different perspective, really getting under the skin of a complex character. And I thought it was excellent. Keith McKellar is his name, the actor.
His name,
sorry, Alex Ferns plays Keith McKellar. So he's a very good bad guy. And Phil Daniels is in it, actually. He plays the main guy's Dan, his uncle. And actually the father is played by Jared Kearns, who was in Shameless as well. So it's all familiar faces. So definitely that's my big recommendation. I've started Lord of the Flies, which kind of horrified me and entertained me. It's very arty. Have you watched it?
It is.
Very arty.
First episode, the piggy first episode. Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah.
That's all I've seen so far. 20 minutes into it, I was like, I don't want to watch this. And then I stuck with it and I kind of enjoyed it. And now I want to watch the second one. But I hate that whole people tearing each other apart. I really upset me, especially children. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yes, as you point out here in our script, Yellow Jackets has come to ITV.
Yeah, so if you can't get enough of the Lord of the Flies, style, societal collapse of with children, that's sort of like a twist. I think it was sort of pitched as sort of a female version of Lord of the Flies, and they're like a
teenage,
like a high school football team who are in a plane crash, and it's there's some sort of fun timeline stuff where in the 90s this happened, and then there's them in the present day older, but
not letting on too much about what exactly happened. So we've got the mystery of what happens. We know some of them make it back clearly, but we don't know if everyone makes it back. We don't know what happened to them. Were they rescued? Anything? I think there's been quite a few series. There's only one series up on ITV so far. Because it was on Paramount. But I might have even seen the second series, but I loved it. So hard recommend, and I'm glad.
The first season, it scared me in the right kind of ways. Like it's got
Yeah.
that like spookiness, doesn't it? That's
Yeah.
yeah.
But the modern day stuff is kind of fun as well, because you've got people like Christina Ricci, who plays a very comic character who's kind of scary and funny. So yeah, hard recommend for that. Okay, I think we've talked a lot about what we've been watching. So shall we move along?
I think we should. Yeah, let's
Okay.
get back on track.
The big story in town for March, obviously, is the Oscars. Talk to us about the main category. On the last episode, we briefly talked about the leading films, but what actors are in the running for gongs? And maybe we'll talk a little bit then after about the best picture.
Yeah, well, I think when it comes at least to the sort of best actress, best actress.
I don't know what they call it anymore. They call it best, I don't
actor,
know. Anyway.
female. I don't know. Yeah, best actress, best supporting actress, and best supporting actor. Those seem kind of sewn up. We've got Jessie Buckley's. I think I think it would be a huge shock
if she doesn't get it. Yeah.
Now, and also, so she was in Hamlet. She plays. Is it Agnes? Is that the name?
Yeah. Well, they pronounce it differently. It's like Agnes. I can't do it, but it's Agnes. Yeah.
And she's she's been, I think, the front runner since that film debuted at one of the festivals last year.
Right.
She's sort of been the runaway favorite. I mean, she's won at the BAFTAs the other day.
Screen Actors Guild, Actor of Actors, the BAFTA. Yeah, she's won everything, hasn't she?
But she's not the only one that's sort of running away with it this year. Without really campaigning, Sean Penn is just sweeping for the best supporting actor. He was in one battle after another.
He is very good.
Like army guy, isn't he? Like a colonel? Yeah.
He's like colonel, and then he becomes a sort of he's a colonel, and then he becomes he's a horrible character. But he plays it very well. I mean, there's even a bit towards the end where he's had like, I don't want to give too much away, but anyway, he's got some serious makeup going on, and he gets even more sinister, and it's like, oh my God, this guy. He's a lot. But I mean, he is probably the best thing about that film in many ways. He does the part very, very well. You almost wouldn't recognize him at the start, actually.
Yeah. He's very good at like disappearing into things, isn't he, Sean? Kind of thing. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And he's been around so long, you're kind of happy to see him getting flowers. Yeah.
I mean, that movie's full of people who've been around for a long old time, isn't
100%.
it? Like Leo, Benedicto del Toro. Bennett, how have we pronounced his first name? Del Toro? Yeah. Benicio
del Toro. Yeah. He's great. I love him as well. Yeah. He plays his kind of pal who he didn't know was a bit of a underground maniac as well. It's a good film. I enjoyed that film. We're going to get onto the films in a minute, but I can't see Leonardo winning for it. I don't know.
No, I think
it's no Revenant, like,
Yeah, he got his Revenant one, and they've sort of like gone back to not giving him awards again. He was really good in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and The Killers of the Flower Moon.
Very good. He's been snubbed before, like, for better films, so I can't see him getting this. Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah. And
then, just going back to the ones who seem like a lock, we've got Wunmi Musaku, who is Annie in Sinners. I apologise for
she's great.
Pronunciation. She's been sort of sweeping everything for best supporting actress, which, I mean, understandable. If you've seen Sinners, she's fantastic. I mean, everyone's fantastic in Sinners.
Totally.
So I think those three seem like a lock. The one that's surprisingly up in the air now is, and there's been quite a big twist here, is the best actor. Sort of the story going in was that it was like, this is Timothée Chalamet, he's gonna get it. He was on everywhere, wasn't he? He was, a lot of campaigning. He was doing a lot of like kind of stunts and stuff, wasn't he? And he was winning at first. Like, I think he won at the Golden Globes and stuff. But then the BAFTAs, he lost to Robert Aramayo from I Swear, which is the film about John Davidson, the guy with Tourette's. Which obviously, that led to
Whole
that
news story in
unsavory,
itself.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
unsavory stuff around the BAFTAs. And
yeah,
then the SAG Awards just this weekend gone when we're recording, Michael B. Jordan won for um,
yeah,
I don't know if he's separately nominated for each of the brothers or if he's
yeah.
nominated for them collectively.
I
You
forgot
know,
about that.
he's
Yeah, he
a
plays
race
both the
against
brothers, doesn't
himself.
he? Yes,
But
yes,
yeah,
yes.
he won. So it's
Mhm.
sort of feeling like Timothy might have, sort of shined too bright too early, and maybe
Interesting.
he's
Is
over campaigning.
did Jacob Elordi get a nomination for Best Actor for Frankenstein or
I think he is in one of the supporting categories.
okay.
I think he's not best actor. I think they were going with Oscar Isaac. I mean, he got him Oscar Wilde there. I was too stuck in
Oh,
the 19th
Ethan
century.
Ethan Hawke is up, and I don't even know the film
Yeah,
that
something
he's
like
in.
Blue Moon or something. Blue
Yeah.
or Moon or something. Yeah, I can't say I've heard of that movie. Which yeah, um,
Yeah, it's not making a big splash. Like, so there's
no,
Leonardo DiCaprio, Michael B. Jordan, Timothy Chalamet, Ethan Hawke, and then Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Again, I don't
which is
know.
a Brazilian movie, I believe.
Okay.
So I think that's why we're not as familiar with. I think that was a bit of a surprise,
Mm.
like a happy surprise that he's in the running, and
It's a bit more wide open. Yeah.
yeah, like suddenly, it was one of those where the race is sort of, often the sort of people get anointed, don't they? Like there's a certain
Yeah.
performance, everyone's like, oh, they're going to win best
Yeah.
actor, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Like I
There are
remember,
upsets every now and again though,
yeah, yeah.
so watch the space,
So
I guess.
I guess at least it adds some jeopardy because yeah, the we mentioned it briefly last time, didn't we? The best picture race seems sewn
Mm.
up. I mean, one battle after another is winning everything. I'm surprised. I thought Sinners would be.
I'm gonna put my neck on the line and say Sinners might win it.
Yeah, I mean, they say these days, they expanded the Academy who do the voting for the
Yeah.
Oscars quite internationally. So that's why we've had a few more, not surprises, but like Parasite won and Moonlight won, a few years
Yeah.
ago now. And so maybe,
Yeah.
maybe Sinners might,
Hmm.
sort of have more support
Right.
around the world than one
And I
battle
think
after.
because it's got so many nominations, that kind of
Yeah,
evidences people's
yeah, people
sort
love
of
it.
yeah, exactly.
I
They
mean,
they they loved it and it was different and it was remarkable. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the main thing. But yeah, so to quickly run through the best picture category then, there's Begonia,
mhm.
F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I've seen about half of them. Begonia, no. F1, I watched it the weekend. Oh my God, I do not understand why it's in for Best Picture.
Yeah, like
Honestly,
it felt very much like a retread of Top Gun Maverick. Like
huge
I know it
budget,
was
I'd
the same
say.
director. Like it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it felt very, yeah, like
It's
it's all
like
right.
every sporting film
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
Underdogs, bring in a bit of talent, underdogs, keep messing up, conflict. Oh, we should have trusted the guy. Yeah, etc. I won't give the rest of it away, but you can imagine.
yeah.
Come
I
on.
mean, I feel like its greatest contribution is the gif of Javier Bardem where there's the fireworks and he's all excited from the movie. I think that's its greatest contribution, really, to
There's a
this.
couple of really cheesy bits like that where the fireworks don't even really look real and stuff like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God.
It just it feels like one of those movies that because they have to nominate 10, that they're just sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'd say there was a
sure.
huge budget in it. Like Lewis Hamilton was
Yeah,
an exec producer on it. But anyway,
yeah,
I think that it's a grand film, but it shouldn't be as in to watch as a throwaway film on a Saturday
yeah,
night. Like it's fine and entertaining and all that jazz. And I mean, it's got Brad Pitt, so come on.
yeah.
So that's fine, but it does not belong in the best picture category. And I mean,
No,
I would say I have limited film knowledge compared to the people who are choosing these things.
yeah,
But anyway, Frankenstein, again, good, but I think it might take makeup and design,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
things like that, because costume, because it was beautiful. Yeah.
I know, like, people love Guillermo del Toro in
Mhm.
Hollywood. Like, everyone loves Guillermo del
Yeah.
Toro. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
who could hate Guillermo del Toro?
Well, we
But
love him here because he filmed some of it in Edinburgh.
yeah,
So
exactly.
absolutely,
I
we're
I
on his
wa-
team.
I watched Frankenstein over the weekend. And I was like, that's Edinburgh. Yeah, I
Yeah,
recognize
you can spot
some
the
parts
Royal
of it.
Mile and stuff in it. Yeah. Marty Supreme, haven't seen, but by all accounts, pretty good. You have seen it, haven't you?
It is like it's a wild movie. Like it's not for everyone, I'd say, because it's such like a because you think ping pong movie. I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be like a classic like sports underdog blah 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 story, but it's not. Like it's this sort of manic. Like it's like
Yeah.
a manic episode for 2
Yeah.
hours. I mean,
Right.
heart rate will be like,
Yeah.
and
And
honestly,
not a very likable character, which is difficult sometimes.
yeah, like honestly, if that fella, if you knew someone like Marty Supreme in your life, run away.
Yeah.
Just run away.
I've heard a Sentimental Value is supposed to be very good, but I haven't seen it. Secret Agent, I don't even know what it is. Sinners, love, love, love. We've talked about it
it's
many
the
times
best, it's the
before.
best.
And Train Dreams, I watched, which is it's a heavy enough watch. Like it's literally the story of a man in the sort of deep south, and he works on the railroads in the 1910s, 1920s, kind of follows his life through to his death. And in a way, there's nothing kind of hugely remarkable about his life.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's nice. It's just a story of someone, how they lived and died,
Yeah.
And the setting is beautiful. The scenery is beautiful. And there's a kind of internal monologue about, him trying to understand what life is about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like a very, I don't know, it's like almost like a Forrest Gump without any action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But a nice watch. But I'm not sure again if it's a Best Picture winner. So
No.
look, by the time we come back, we will know and we'll have a little chat about it. But listen,
once
between this and
Train
then,
Dreams sweep and we were all wrong.
yeah, exactly. Right, what would you do, Matt, to shake up the Oscars?
Well, I don't know. It does feel to me, like I used to be a bit more of an Oscar watcher, like a few years ago, but I think around the pandemic, I fell away. Like, following the, predictions and people, getting the things in early, and it would be basically the week after the Oscars, it would start for the next year. People would already be turning their attention, like, oh, what's at Cannes, what's at the Venice Film Festival, blah blah blah, and you get burned out, like, because
exhausting,
especially because it's often such a small selection of films that are the runaway favorites, that there's only so many times you can talk about the same 5 movies for months on end. And I was wondering do you remember when Britain's Got Talent started years ago now?
Just about.
It all was on 1 week. It was, like the whole thing was over 1 week and it was half term. They should just do the award ceremonies in 1 week. So
you mean like announce everything on the Monday and have the ceremony before the end of the week?
Have the Golden Globes, have the SAG.
That would be great because they couldn't be doing that campaigning crap, could they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it would, it would all be maybe a bit more chaotic because it's not like, oh yeah, they've already won everything else.
Yeah. I was like, because I've been keeping track of Jessie Buckley, obviously, because she's from my hometown and rooting for her and all that. And I'm just like, oh my God, how do you pick all the dresses? How do you get from A to B between these things? You must be absolutely knackered for the people on the big films that are in everything. I mean, I know some of them don't go to all the awards, but like Leonardo DiCaprio came to the BAFTAs, which I thought was kind of surprising, but great. Like, but again, he might be kind of campaigning for the Oscar. So who knows? I think that I was writing this before the Brits were on last week, and I was saying, I think, they need to shake it up a bit and maybe put, bring some more booze into the event and like get people to be a bit looser. And so they say things they shouldn't say and things happen. Mind you, we don't want to go as far as like the Will Smith punch or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the Brits were actually great this week. And they were, for the first year in many years, they were quite entertaining. And you could speculate it's because they were brought out of London. So for the first time ever, they were produced and presented in Manchester, which maybe just gave it a bit of life and a bit of energy. So maybe the Oscars need to move away from Hollywood, put it in New York, see what happens.
In Ohio. Yeah, have it in Cleveland, Ohio.
But I do think the campaigning thing is a bit of a problem, and you and I aren't going to crack that. So we'll just move along. All right.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about today is, you mentioned Britain's Got Talent there. Big shows that seem to be slowing down. They're not cutting the mustard anymore. Tell us what you think, Matt.
Yeah, so it's one of them where, Britain's Got Talent's back, Love Island All-Stars just wrapped up. I remember seeing a lot about how Love Island All-Stars ratings were down this year. although there was some talk that like on social media the clips were like doing better than ever before, like on
Mm,
TikTok and Instagram. So I wonder if something like Love Island, people just don't have the the time to
yeah.
watch
The appointment
everything.
TV stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because it's on every single, it's on what, 6 out of 7 days a week for weeks on end, twice a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's a big ask, to watch that, to follow it. So maybe
I
people
rem
just tune in for the clips on,
yeah.
like the highlights, like match of the day,
Yeah.
but for
I did
Love Island.
watch the first or the second series, and I remember you get hooked in quite quickly, and then I just felt uh, abused, sort of
Yeah,
used by the
yeah,
end of it. I was like, I'm never watching that again, even though I
yeah,
couldn't take myself away from it. I really was like, I felt dirty after it because I was like, I
yeah,
can't believe I watched all of that. Right. I'm never watching it again for my own reasons, whatever.
yeah.
But so I can see how when we're in year probably 5 or 6 or something, are we? That
Oh,
people
it's
are like,
10 now. It's
oh,
over
is
a
it? Oh my
decade now.
God, is it?
Yeah,
I can see why people are like, nah. And actually, there is this whole, I mean, it was obviously a younger target as well.
yeah,
And we keep being told that people are watching things on their phone or on YouTube or whatever and not wanting this kind of long form content. What I would be afraid of is that that's going to kill, people watching clips rather than watching the whole thing is going to kill long form. But I
yeah,
think not necessarily, because you have things like The Traitors, which proved this year
yeah.
appointment TV is still a thing. It can still be long form. It's totally fine. Which you would then think perhaps that Love Island is just a bit jaded. And people are like, the whole body beautiful thing, it's just got
Yeah.
a bit boring after time. These
I
really
mean,
perfect people who are like dressed in the most amazing outfits and amazing bodies and oiled up and
yeah.
sunshine and all that. It's all a bit meh. Used to be
And
aspirational. Now it's like too much,
And also, I think like there's, I've seen there's people that are quite unhappy that now it's a lot of influencers who are like already influencers going.
Yeah,
That,
yeah,
like
yeah,
not
yeah.
not Love Island All Stars because they're bringing people back, but like
Sort of
the regular.
Z-listers. Yeah, yeah, I get you.
Like it's already people who have some sort of like influencer career,
Mhm.
and instead of it being just like ordinary people, like maybe the first couple of years were, but yeah, and then Britain's Got Talent. It's
Mm.
just, Britain's Got Talent's been on for God, what's about 17 years or something
I was
now.
going to say it
You
must
know,
be nearly 20. It must be nearly
yeah,
20 years
like
it's done. Yeah. But I like
eventually,
you told me that it was back and I was like, "What? It's back?"
yeah,
And like
yeah.
I watch it every year with my kids. I'm like the target audience and I didn't know it was back. So what's that
Yeah.
about?
I think
How do I not know?
I
They're
think
failing
it's
on the marketing front there,
well. Also, I think because it used to start in the spring, didn't it? Like late,
Yeah.
sort of April time,
Mm.
and basically Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, yeah, the
Mm.
show that they used to do is
Yeah.
on break, so they have to fill a gap. So they've spread Britain's Got Talent out and starting it earlier than usual. And I think that's just backfired. I mean, the ratings, the curling final was ahead of
I was
Britain's
watching
Got
the
Talent
curling
on.
final. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know BGT was on. Now we
yeah,
recorded anyway because it's too late for the kids or whatever. But
yeah,
I just feel like they've moved it and they haven't done enough to tell people they've moved it and they've not
yeah.
done enough to market it. So no wonder their numbers are down. But
And
also maybe their numbers are down because of what we were talking about there. Maybe it's just a bit jaded,
yeah, and the format's been the same for quite a long time now. And I think, by extending it, they've done the thing where the live shows are just one
Mm.
per week now, instead of, where it used to be sort of all
Every
in a
night
week.
for a week or
Always,
whatever.
you get the
Mhm.
semi-finals and then the
Yeah.
final, in May, sort of having like a big blowout at
Hmm.
the end of spring. And yeah, I don't know. I just think maybe these shows are on too much, which was a concern I had about Celebrity Traitors. I was like, is that going to be too much Traitors in a year? Like having 10
Yeah.
seasons. But they managed to make Celebrity Traitors feel different
They
because I
did.
guess,
I hope they keep that to one a year and not two a year, though. Like, let us have the
yeah,
regular traitors and then bring the celebrities once a year, so it's got
I
a
think I
different
think they
feel.
will. I think they
Hmm.
will because I think as well. Obviously, this we've talked about this as Celebrity Traitors because they're not competing for money. It's more of
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
yeah, like casual vibe. But yeah, maybe Britain's Got Talent or something. Just they either need to rethink it, maybe strip it back a bit, or
Yeah. Or leave a
yeah,
gap of a few years for the
yeah,
talent to come through. Because one thing that
yeah,
was very evident the last few years is that they're bringing them from all over the world. It's not Britain's
yeah,
Got Talent. There's talent all over the world. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
The whole point of it day one was you're representing Britain. You're in Britain and you're going to, you know, perform for the Queen or whatever. Whereas now it's like, it should be called the best talent show in the world or something, you know, stupid like.
You could probably get away with, if you wanted to take, you know, do a year off, you know, like how in my house we're a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and they often do, you know, UK versus the world and that. So they'll have, you know, people who were on UK seasons come back, and, you know, then have drag queens from
That's
Thailand,
a good idea. Yeah.
Australia, and just, you know, just have like, you know, Britain's Got Talent versus the world, and have, you know, just bring back a bunch of people.
Judges. Let the judges do it, not audience vote or whatever. Yeah.
People who won but maybe haven't had the big
exposure
that they were expecting.
True,
you know,
because there is loads of talent, like, to be fair.
You know, bring back Paul Potts, have Paul Potts versus Susan Boyle, have the show of the century.
And diversity, although they're on it every year anyway. Right. Okay, so look, that's shows that are on the decline, but what shows would you bring back, Matt, if you were in charge of TV?
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? There's so many good ones. I think I would love to bring back. It's not that old, although it's older than I thought it was. Total Wipeout. I really enjoy Total Wipeout. Like, it's like watching Takeshi's Castle without the awkward, slightly dated
commentary,
racist vibes. But I enjoy watching shows where people like run into things and get knocked over. Like, harmless fun.
Good, clean family fun.
Exactly.
I think for me, and I've been saying this a lot recently, but it's things like TFI Friday, Top of the Pops, like bringing us, like, you know, well, with TFI it was very much like irreverent sort of, or even the Big Breakfast, like just anything goes, and you could be a bit naughty and a bit silly, and people weren't being judged, and like cancel culture wasn't such a thing, and, you know, you could swear on TV every now and again and it wasn't the end of the world, and people were naughty and behaved naughty and did naughty things, and it was like, this is gas, this is entertaining, you know. Now I do think Chris Evans is doing a version of TFI Friday for Virgin, but it's like it's not on TV, it's just like clips or shortened interviews or whatever. And the other thing I think we could bring back is Top of the Pops, mainly to help fend off AI music, because AI can't get up and perform on stage. So bring back Top of the Pops.
No robots on stage. Robots on stage. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. If you have any suggestions for what TV or film we need to get into our lives, drop us a line via social media. We'd love for you to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast so we can reach as many TV lovers as possible. We'll be back soon with more Screen Babble. Enjoy the Oscars. Bye.
Bye.